I'll highlight a Spring 15 feature called multi-dimensional quoting. So this feature enables administrators to configure a product with multiple price dimensions, allowing each dimension segment to be priced independently. This will permit sales reps to adjust pricing, quantity, and discounts for a product so that one quote can be divided into multiple years. So, for example, sales reps can create multi-year subscriptions and renewals. You can add an uplift as a percentage at the quote line level, which would apply against the previous year's price. And the resulting price is entered into the regular price field on top of any special or contracted prices. So for this example, we are going to create a quote, and our product is going to have two different price dimensions. Our product, which will be Kentucky Derby box seats, will have a 3-year ticket membership. That will be our yearly price dimension. And we're also going to add an exciting Derby hat as our one-time price dimension. So let's go ahead and create this multi-dimensional quote. You want to add the following to your page layouts in order to make the creation of your multi-dimensional quotes easier. So first, you'll want to add the price dimensions related list to your product layout. Add the uplifted by package checkbox to your product option layout. The component uplifted by package checkbox to your quote line page layout. And finally, you can add any other additional fields you might want to have appear into your segmented quote line. So for example, special price, roll-up value, etc. All right, let's get into our demo. Start out on the product that you want to add your price dimensions to. So for my example, I am starting out on my Derby box seats product. This is the membership to the exclusive and luxurious Millionaires Row box seats at the Kentucky Derby. I set my subscription term to 12 months. If you're creating a yearly price dimension for your product, you need to set your subscription term to 12 months. You'll also need to enter your subscription pricing. I have my pricing set at fixed price, and my subscription type is renewable, as I'm planning on having these box seats for 3 years. Now here you can see I entered in my standard price for my Millionaires Row Derby box seats, which is $7,000 per seat for 1 day at the Derby. Now, if you're like me, you'll be sitting in the cheap lawn seats with lots of sunscreen. Here we have our price dimensions related list. I already created our year 1 and year 2 price dimensions. I'm creating 3 time-based price dimensions. So let's go ahead and create our year 3 price dimension. Enter in your dimension name. Since I want this dimension to be within year 3 of my multi-dimension quote, I'm just calling it year 3. Very creative. Choose year as your price dimension type. Yearly price dimensions treat your line items as subscription products. I'm going to highlight some optional fields that will allow us to define independent pricing for the price dimension. The first of which is the price book field. This associates this price dimension to a particular price book. Price dimension can only be applied to a quote if the associated price book is also being used in the opportunity. If this field is left blank, it will inherit the price book from the product. The default quantity field is where you specify the starting quantity of the product when added. This is a numeric value. The quantity scale field specifies the number of decimal places used in the quantity field. If left blank, it will inherit the quantity scale from the product. If you enter a unit price into this field, it will override the value from the price book. If a unit price is entered, a price book must also be associated on this particular price dimension. You can enter a specific discount schedule that is used with this particular price dimension in the discount schedule field. The term discount schedule field is where you enter a schedule for discounts based on subscription term. Values entered into these fields will override the values entered at the product level. If a term discount schedule is being applied to a segmented product, it must be sent to a quote or group. If sent to line, the discount will not be applied based on the full term length because each yearly segment is a separate quote line. The following optional fields define whether the price dimension will inherit values entered at the product or price dimension level for the following fields: quantity editable, non-discountable, price editable, non-partner discountable, cost editable, and taxable. You can choose from one of the following options from the drop-down menu: none, no action will be taken; inherit, the value will be inherited from the product level selection. This is the default. Yes, the price dimension chooses yes and will override the product level selection, or no, the price dimension chooses no and will override the product level selection. I'm clicking Save and New as I'm going to add another price dimension to my product. This dimension will be Derby hat because everyone knows you can't go to the Kentucky Derby without a fancy Derby hat. Our Derby hat price dimension type will be one time. Single segment products are commonly used for installation fees, shipping charges, trainings, etc. These can be coupled with your yearly segments, but they're priced independently. This segment is only added one time regardless of what your subscription term is. So in this example, you'll only need one Derby hat for your 3-year membership. Click Save. We're done adding our price dimensions. Let's return to our product so I can show you how my finished price dimensions look. Both my yearly and one-time price dimensions are listed in my related list. Let's go ahead and navigate to our opportunity as we are going to create a multi-dimensional quote. Let's go ahead and create a new quote. As always, mark your quote as primary. Enter your subscription term. I'm entering a subscription term of 36 months since I have 3 yearly price dimensions, as my Millionaires Row Kentucky Derby box seats are for a 3-year ticket membership. Add your start date, click Save, and let's go ahead and start adding our products. Click on the expanding arrow in order to see the segments within your MDQ product. Also, if you hover over your different price dimensions, so for example, Derby hat, year 1, year 2, you can also see all the information within that segment. Now that we have opened up the segments within our multi-dimensional product, we can edit these segments within our quote. Something you may want to do is edit the quantities of each segment or the uplift. So one thing you'll notice with the uplift is that for one-time price dimensions, you cannot edit the uplift, and you also cannot edit the uplift on the first year for yearly segments. Uplifts are applied against regular prices of the previous year, so this is why an uplift cannot be applied to the first year of any subscription. Also to note, uplifts compound year after year, and volume discount can affect uplift. I'm changing the quantity of my Derby hat to 2, since my customer wants an extra one for his daughter, obviously. Because he's purchasing 2, I'm going to give my customer a 25% additional discount on this price dimension. Next, I'm going to add a 5% uplift on year 3 of our Derby box seats. Each year, the Derby gets more and more popular, so in order to ensure that the seats are still available, we are going to add that uplift for our customer. Here is our new total once our additional discounts on specific segments and our uplift has been applied. Alright, we're done here, so let's go ahead and save our quote. Once back on our quote, we'll scroll down to our quote lines section, and you'll notice that each price dimension segment is a separate quote line. If you click on the line name, you'll get more detailed information about that price dimension segment. Because yearly segments are treated as subscriptions, this quote can be contracted, and therefore you can generate a renewal opportunity. You can also do other things with this quote, such as add the same uplift percentage to all years across all products in a bundle. For more information on multidimensional quoting, please see the Spring 15 release notes and consult the online help.